Too many people are tired of religion, especially indigenous people of Africa, to a point where they think that the Jesus story is not a true story. But then my advice is that if you take the story religiously, you will be misled because it has interpolations of fables of the Romans and fables and motherhood and apple pie stories of the folk who lived then. But the true facts about Yeshua, whose real name, Hebrew name is Yeshua, and not Jesus, which is another corruption of his real name, is that his Hebrew name is Yeshua, and he was a historical person and credible historians like Flavius, Josephus, Tacitus, and Pliny the Elder attest to the fact that Yeshua was historical, although he was not what your doctored document called the Bible tells us of. He was a historical person with gifts. He was a monk of the Essene way of life, which was not religion, because religion was actually created by Constantine, Emperor Constantine, and fed interpolations like the motherhood and apple pie stories that he was born of the Holy Spirit. Whereas the fact of the matter is that his father Joseph and the father of John the Baptist, together with John the Baptist and Yeshua themselves, were disciples of the Essene and monks who stayed outside ordinary life, perhaps in the mountains or so. And Yeshua had a relationship with Maria, which was, well, you could say abnormal because he was a monk. So adding to the story, the flavor of the story, that when he came visiting society, normal society as it were, he mated with Maria, and having mated with Maria, a child was conceived, and as the child was conceived, the stories went about that it is a child of the Holy Spirit, because Yeshua and them were called Holy Spirits. So Holy Spirit does not mean holy as in the fashion of religion in the Bible. But holy just meant set aside people who were set aside to do certain things. And they were called the Holy Spirit. So they were not mating with women, but having mated with his lady friend, which colloquially they would call girlfriend, Yeshua then was called the Holy Spirit. And these are attested by many writers and historians who give the historical aspect of Yeshua. So take Yeshua the man and divorce him from the Yeshua the deity, because Yeshua the man is a real object that you must look at for education, for powers of healing. Yes, he had, because he had electricity between the people that he healed by way of what you would call the faith, the element of faith that worked when you do things to people and they believe in you. And they believe in what you're doing actually. So I'm trying to put it to you, and I'm not trying, I'm putting it to you, that take Yeshua for the educator, the greatest philosopher that ever lived. One who had a predestination to do certain things that others had not done. Just like John the Baptist had own gifts, he had his own gifts, which were more outstanding than those of his peers. So, truth of the matter is that Yeshua was a historical person, and as you learn from him, as I am doing, I myself am not a religious person. I used to be a clergy person, but I'm no more religious. But I'm still a theologian, and I still study history. And I know for a fact that Yeshua taught the world that no teacher had taught before. And could be because he also grew up in Egypt. And when he taught some of the things that came from Kemet, which they call Egypt then, people would be astounded and say, this must come from heaven, because they had never known that. They were slaves of religion all the time of the Jewish religion, which was manufactured by man itself. So take Yeshua for who he is and leave out the fable and the frills that they put around him. And I want to thank you on that score. Thank you.